Hey, it's Marley from the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for February 2022. So, on Monday, February 14th, we have Mercury, ruler of the mental plane, ruler of communication and information, re-entering into Aquarius. So let's rewind and recap what Mercury's been up to for the last couple of months. So, Mercury entered into Aquarius on January 2nd. It stayed in Aquarius until the 25th. Then it went into a retrograde, crept back through the degrees of Aquarius, crept back into Capricorn energy, and then went direct at 24 degrees in Capricorn. That took place on the 3rd. So since the 3rd, we have been making our way, retracing our steps through Mercury's time in Capricorn. This basically took us back to the beginning of December. Lots has happened since December has happened. Lots has happened since January happened. We have a lot of information. The problem with Mercury being in Capricorn is, although we are thinking futuristically, thinking about what it is we need to build, thinking about our goals, thinking about our ambitions, that's when negative Nancy comes out to play. That's why we've been plagued, so to speak, by all these darker force energies, these darker thoughts, these darker ideas, preventing us from moving forward, preventing us from thinking about our future goals, feeling good about it, instead trapping us in a very negative narrative, a very fear-based narrative. Now, Mercury's journey over the last couple of months has been a little bit of a tango dance with Pluto, the great destroyer, the great transformer. He has to destroy certain elements of our lives, of our identity, of our thoughts, in order for there to be a brand new clean slate for us to rebuild better ones where we can stand in our power. Pluto has a tendency, though, to take us back through our pain, back through our trauma, back through our suffering, not to hold us down, but to motivate us through frustration, through anger that we did ourselves that disservice, in order to inspire us and motivate us to make the great dramatic change, transformation that we have to make in order to bust free from the old, in order to prepare ourselves to embrace the new. So it was just a couple of days ago that we had Mercury and Pluto make its 3rd and final conjunction. This week, Mercury is going to continue to build distance, build space in between Pluto, so we are going to be feeling lighter. But now that Mercury is in Aquarius, first of all, we recognize that negative ass narrative that we had in Capricorn energy. We've seen where lies and betrayal and deceit emerged in order for us to process the situation from a different set of eyes, a different perspective. And now that Mercury is in Aquarius, we know what we have to free ourselves from. We know where we're being held back. We know our fears. We know our pain. We know our suffering. We know our trauma, alive and well. And this Aquarian energy is so freaking positive, is so inspirational, is so futuristically focused that, you know what? Now we actually have an opportunity to bust free of these negative ass narratives that have been keeping us down for far too long. When Mercury is in Aquarius, we thrive on knowledge. We have a thirst for knowledge. We want to understand the inner workings of our mind space, of our heart space, of the situations that are taking place in our physical realms. We have an open mind. We're able to accept change a lot easier. We're opening our minds up to new ways of doing things, new ideas, in order to get us away from this dark ass box that we've been in for far too long. This is when we start to think outside of that dark ass box in order to innovate and constantly push ourselves to come up with new ways, new methods of being, of thinking, of acting, of feeling. This is a time when we are able to tap into our higher observer self. The interesting thing is Mercury rules over our lower intellect. Uranus, that rules over Aquarius, rules over our higher intellect. When Mercury is in Aquarius being ruled over by this Uranian energy, this is shock. This is awakening. This is aha moments. This is moments of genius that we're able to actually bring into our lower intellect, our egoic intellect, make sense of, and actually implement in our day-to-day lives. So communication is now going to be much easier. We have to kind of keep in our mind that Mercury is still not up to speed coming out of his retrograde. So we do really have to kind of think about the fact that our communication has been stunted. We haven't been able to pull, full ideas, full sentences into our mouths and actually have our message be relayed, be spoken, be expressed in a way that we were hoping to, and validated by whoever needs to hear that. We haven't been in a time of real, true communication. Mercury in Capricorn is very cold, very detached, very emotionless, very rigid, very focused on productivity and getting shit done. It's very the boss, businessman type of energy. Now that Mercury is moving into Aquarius, this is like the crazy scientist. This is, technology. This is futuristic vision. This is like science and space and all of these outer realm experiences that are really going to help us with our communication style and our thought patterns, because we get spontaneous ideas. We get very clear moments of aha, genius type of ideas that we're going to run with. Now, we are hella scatterbrained, okay? Let me just say that. This is like having so many tabs open on your computer in your brain that you don't know where the music's coming from at this point. But it is time for us to kind of lean into that manic type of thought, that scatterbrain type of thought, because it does lead us to some very profound insights. We are definitely thinking at our highest observatory self, which is a great thing, especially looking back on just how this year has begun and the funk that we've been in. And now we're given an opportunity to break free of that. How are we going to do that? How are we going to plan for that? This is a beautiful energy for us. This is very liberating. It's very freeing. And let me tell you, it's taking place at a perfect time, right before the full moon in Leo. This is almost like the full moon in Leo is going to help us release the energy, the weight, the pain, the suffering on our heart space, while Mercury moving into Aquarius frees us from the pain and the suffering and the darkness from our mental space. So this is a beautiful supportive energy. I definitely recommend that you be a little bit patient for the first couple of days, because it's going to feel electric. It's going to feel a little bit anxiety-like, a little bit restless, if you will, a little bit pulled all over the place. But at the same time, we're in the full moon energy. So we have to expect that our mental planes being overwhelmed at this particular point is also going to inspire us to awaken to our power, awaken to what it is that we need to move away from, awaken to new ideas that we're actually passionate in pursuing. This is going to be a beautiful energy to work with. But again, I want you to be patient with the, I'm going to say, stability of it all, because it is happening when the energy is at its most high in a full moon window, mind you, in the last final days of Aquarius season, mind you, and in the last chapter of this 22222 portal.